Hello friends, today we will learn about definition of verb with example. So let's start it. Definition of verb. A verb is a word that tells an action. A verb tells what we do. So here watching, baking and singing are the examples of verb. The girl is excited. The word excited is a word that tells an action. Excited is a verb. The girl is cycling. The word cycling is a word that tells an action. So here cycling is a verb. The boy is painting. The word painting is a word that tells an action. So here painting is a verb. Painting is a verb. The girl is holding the bag. The word holding is a word that tells an action. So here holding is a verb. Holding is a verb. The girl is baking the cake. The word baking is a word that tells an action. Baking is a verb. Baking is a verb. The girl is singing a song. The word singing is a word that tells an action. So here singing is a verb. Singing is a verb. The girl is swimming. The word swimming is a word that tells an action. Swimming is a verb. So here swimming is a verb. The teacher is teaching to class. The word teaching is a word that tells an action. Teaching is a verb. So here teaching is a verb. The girl is hanging the clothes. The word hanging is a word that tells an action. Hanging is a verb. Hanging is a verb. The girl is sleeping on a bed. The word sleeping is a word that tells an action. Sleeping is a verb. So here sleeping is a verb. The girl is smiling. The word smiling is a word that tells an action. Smiling is a verb. So here smiling is a verb. The girl is washing her hands. The word washing is a word that tells an action. Washing is a verb. So here washing is a verb. The girl is drinking the milk. The word drinking is a word that tells an action. Drinking is a verb. So here drinking is a verb. The girl is doing exercise. The word doing is a word that tells an action. Doing is a verb. So here doing is a verb. The girl is walking on the road. The word walking is a word that tells an action. Walking is a verb. So here walking is a verb. The girl is playing game on the computer. The word playing is a word that tells an action. So here playing is a verb. Playing is a verb. The boy is riding on the cycle. The word riding is a word that tells an action. Riding is a verb. So here riding is a verb. The girl is thinking about the solution. The word thinking is a word that tells an action. Thinking is a verb. So here thinking is a verb. The girl is taking bath. The word taking is a word that tells an action. Taking is a verb. So here taking is a verb. The girl is ironing her clothes. The word ironing is a word that tells an action. Ironing is a verb. So here ironing is a verb. The girl is combing her hair. The word combing is a word that tells an action. Combing is a verb. So here combing is a verb. The boy is clapping. The word clapping is a word that tells an action. Clapping is a verb. So here clapping is a verb. The girl is smelling to the flower. The word smelling is a word that tells an action. Smelling is a verb. So here smelling is a verb. The girl is praying. The word praying is a word that tells an action. Praying is a verb. So here praying is a verb. The man is pushing to the car. The word pushing is a word that tells an action. Pushing is a verb. So here pushing is a verb. The girl is jogging. The word jogging is a word that tells an action. Jogging is a verb. So here jogging is a verb. The boy is sitting on the sofa. The word sitting is the word that tells an action. Sitting is a verb. So here Sitting is a verb. The girl is crying. The word crying is a word that does an action. Crying is a verb. So here, crying is a verb. The boy is kicking to the football. The word kicking is a word that does an action. Kicking is a verb. So here, kicking is a verb. The girl is sharing the pencil with her friend. The word sharing is a word that does an action. Sharing is a verb. So here, sharing is a verb. The sisters are hugging. The word hugging is a word that tells an action. Hugging is a verb. So here, hugging is a verb. The mother is cooking food for her kids. The word cooking is a word that tells an action. Cooking is a verb. So here, cooking is a verb. Girl is brushing her teeth. The word brushing is a word that tells an action. Brushing is a verb. So here, brushing is a verb. The girl is watching the television. The word watching is a word that tells an action. Watching is a verb. So here, watching is a verb. The woman is listening to the call. The word listening is a word that tells an action. Listening is a verb. So here, listening is a verb. The girl is giving water to the plants. The word giving is a word that tells an action. Giving is a verb. So here, giving is a verb. The girl is pointing toward the book. The word pointing is a word that tells an action. Pointing is a verb. So here, pointing is a verb. The boy is angry. The word angry is a word that tells an action. Angry is a verb. So here, angry is a verb. The boy is yelling. The word yelling is a word that tells an action. Yelling is a verb. So here, yelling is a verb. Both friends are fighting with each other for the toy. The word fighting is a word that tells an action. Fighting is a verb. So here, fighting is a verb. Girl is very excited for watching the cartoons. The word excited is a word that tells an action. Excited is a verb. The girl is reading the book. The word reading is a word that tells an action. Reading is a verb. So here, reading is a verb. The girl is throwing garbage in the dustbin. The word throwing is a word that tells an action. Throwing is a verb. So here, throwing is a verb.